35 years. What do you think about new music and introducing and
Well,
things like that?
that's a
Conductor.
great question. That's a great question. I think I've learned, for example, let me give you an example of what happened to me in Irving once. I did the Rite of Spring maybe 5 or 7 years into my tenure. It was not well received.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, it just didn't go the way I expected. Well, a few years went by, maybe 10 years later, and I did it again. And some of the members of the board, oh, no, don't do the Rite Spring. I said, well, our audience has changed, our musicians have changed, so let's just do that. But I was very careful to program something on the first half that was very contrasting, and I did it, and the second time around was an enormous success.
Did you market it differently the second time?
Yeah, we did. Everything we did was different, market different, and approach different. But the performance was also very different, and it was great.
Yeah.
And now with Plano, I think that I can do anything I want. Yeah, pretty much. Yes, I can do anything I want, and I know that the audience will support it.
But at Plano, it's, because I've looked at their season many times, it's not just classical symphonies all the time. You mix it with lots of things, right, at season?
Yeah, well, that's the unique approach of our programming. We have found that we do not make any differentiation between a classical concert and a pops. We all treat it the same. We program it. We market it the same. Is just as good if it's a pops concert, or just as good if it's classical music. And I think our audience loves it, and they love the variety. And we have done a lot of what we call crossover. Mm-hmm. That some of the pieces in the first half are classical, and then pops on the second half, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. But we have been very careful not to do anything that is cheap or low quality.
Right.
So it has been very successful. Now, this probably could not work with another orchestra, mm-hmm. but it works for Plano.
It works for Plano.
Yes.
Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
That's great. I remember in graduate school studying the Rite of Spring, and graduate students, we loved it.
Oh, we loved it. Yes.
Yeah. So that I don't know. Well, I hear you have some interesting hobbies. I hear you like.
You've been talking to some people.
I have. I've been following up on you. So you like to garden? Is that true?
I love working in the yard. Yes.
Yeah. So what part about that do you like?
I like to look at a yard, and anybody that looks at it goes, "Wow, that really looks pretty." I like order. Mm-hmm. I like it to always be green, fresh, well cut, well groomed.
Do you do it yourself?
Except mowing the yard. It's not that I don't like it or I cannot do it. It's just that I don't have time. So I have somebody that mows the lawn every week in the summer, and part of the.
But did you design your yard?
I designed my backyard.
Yeah.
I put a Mexican fountain in the end.
Yeah.
And everything that you see in the yard, front and back, is my design. It's not like a big deal, but it's fun.
But do you like gardening, like growing vegetables and things and cooking them, or just more landscape?
No, it's more landscape. We do have a few herbs that my wife likes, but it's a very small part of it. But I do the design of the backyard. I put the stones, the green parts. I planted every tree in the back myself. 2 big crepe myrtles, and then a miniature one. And then I like the balance. And then, of course, being from Mexico, I wanted a Mexican fountain, so I put it in the bag, and it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all of that, it's therapy.
Yes.
With 4 orchestras, I need a lot of therapy.
Well, I've also heard that maybe you like motorcycles. Is that true?
I liked.
You've given them up.
40 years riding a motorcycle, and the May 1st of 2013, I had a terrible accident. Broke everything on this side of my shoulder, and it was a miracle, actually. I survived, but that was it.
That was.
I still ride them, occasionally,
Yeah.
but only in the city. I don't go out in the